Now, TRT World reporter Kyrrie Blenkinsop joins us now. Airbnb spent an awful lot of money to lobby against this campaign. How do you think the company would have been restricted if the vote was actually successful?
Yes, well, that's right, Kim. A staggering amount of money was spent to defeat this measure. $8 million, in fact, was forked out by the No camp. Now, these tough restrictions were aimed at all short-term housing rental services, but of course, Airbnb has become one of the best known. Now, currently in San Francisco, short-term rentals can only be leased out for 90 days a year. That is, of course, unless a host is also at the home during that period. Now, among the measures under this proposed scheme, those rentals would have been limited further to 75 days a year, whether a host was there or not. Hosts would have also had to submit quarterly reports about when they were at home and notify their neighbours by mail of their intention to rent out their property. Opponents have tried to link Airbnb with rising house prices. There's also the argument that some long-term tenants are actually being evicted to free up accommodation for short-term rentals in an already incredibly expensive city. Airbnb, meanwhile, argues that it actually helps people afford these pricey rents and mortgages by actually letting them make money off a spare room in their house.
So, Kyrrie, what sort of impact would these kind of restrictions have on Airbnb's bottom line ultimately?
Well, San Francisco, Kim, is by no means Airbnb's biggest market, so the company as a whole wouldn't have taken that much a hit from this poll. But the vote was symbolically important, given that Airbnb is based in San Francisco. The other reason this poll was being watched very closely is that this will be seen as a test case for other cities. The company was worried that if the law was passed here in San Francisco, in its hometown, it would have set a precedent across the country. In other US cities and indeed other countries around the world could consider adopting similar proposals.
I mean, this is just sort of the latest backlash, so to speak, against the sharing economy. Why are we seeing so much backlash against it, do you think?
Well, basically, this is hurting big business. With just a swipe of your finger, you can hail a driver, you can rent an apartment for the night, and critics are calling this the disruptive business model. Airbnb and Uber are two high-profile companies that have flourished in the sharing economy, the economy that uses technology. And the important element here is peer-to-peer relationships. It makes it easier for the consumer, it cuts out the middleman, and of course makes it affordable for consumers. And I don't think we'll be seeing it disappearing anytime soon.